My people saw me as a stain in the bloodline. Something to erase.
You felt good to be safe.
It's not safe for my kind here.
I never felt that way before.
For Draenor forbidden. I have to leave this place, John. No for Draenor past this line.
Never had a home.
I was cast out of my clan as an infant because of this. I was forced to steal to survive. Forced to kill. You were loved. I was thrown away like someone's garbage. I'm gonna sacrifice someone to test Nightblood. Who do you think that's gonna be, huh? Clark? Raven?
Looks like we know who's next.
It's different, huh? I'm the outsider, John, the free trader. You know nothing of my pain. My people will protect you. Who the hell is she?
Someone has to run things from here.
The map is yours. It's just like the simulator. But it really matters.
She will.
I'm the one who almost got us all killed. I'm flying solo. She'll be the only one.
So much for Raven's star student. Got this.
It's your first time with the controls. Stop beating yourself up over it.
We didn't die.
No, we didn't.
I was part of something bigger than myself. I know I needed that. John, but I did.
Ghost Stories with Emori. Stand by. Is this what it was like to film in the forest in Vancouver? There you go. Hey, Luisa! Thanks for coming to my panel. I think this is my first solo panel. Ooh, ever? I think ever. High five! Welcome to the Emori panel. Awesome. How did you feel watching that compilation? Every time I watch a compilation video, I get emotional because it reminds me of the journey that she's gone on. But to see it through someone else's eyes too, because I know when you guys are editing a video, this is your particular take on her journey between the clips that you use, the way you put it together, the music that you choose. So it's so cool to me to see my journey through someone else's eyes. Or not mine, Emori's journey. And there's so much we haven't seen yet. Yeah. It was from that particular montage, I mean, it really, you forget that Emori is now part of the family, and it's not just Space Crew, but you've actually interacted with so many characters. So I hope we see more of that next season. I mean, I can't say either way, you know how it is. Yeah. But I agree that it's been great, like seeing what she's done so far, and it's awesome. When I first started getting the scripts for season 5, and I thought one of two things was going to happen. I thought either Emori's going to become friends with them all. Things are going to start going well, she's going to heal, she's going to find positivity, she's going to change. Or she's going to have a really tough time with this, and she's going to start acting badly. And she might end up going in a hard antagonist route. And that ended up being Richard's storyline, and then mine was the other one. So I kind of called it. You did. But I just wanted to take them both for myself. Totally. We don't know what's ahead. It might be more of a rocky road situation. I know, you actually don't know. I actually do not know anything. I love it. I actually am glad there isn't a trailer. Here's why. I know you guys want a trailer, and I get it. Because if we had a trailer before this con, every question would not be answerable. Every detail of that trailer would have been analyzed and screen capped by now, and they would ask people about it, and they couldn't tell you which would be. I think would be more frustrating. That's just my personal perspective. That's true, yeah. That's true. But I'm team adult, so I don't know. Right. Yeah, so we have some fan questions, and then of course we'll have you guys line up. This is your chance to one-on-one with Luisa. So, people talk about Emori's past a lot. So at Arc Delinquent would like to know, do you have personal theories, i.e. who or where her parents are, life with her brother, who raised her, and how she ended up in the dead zone, and where we met her, etc. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had a lot of ideas. The one thing I have to anchor anything is Bayless. Who wasn't, and the guy we met wasn't even the real Bayless, right. But I know that he was a guy who existed, who obviously did terrible things to Emori, and I would imagine, my guess is that her brother was not actually her biological brother. This was a brother that she met while she was under Bayless's control. I think there was kind of an idea at some point that all these children that had changes in their body from the radiation were, after they were thrown out, they were kind of collected by this guy named Bayless, who did whatever manipulation, I would imagine cult-like. I'm sure it was very abusive. I'm sure it was very psychologically manipulative. And I think that somehow real bonds were formed in that, and her brother was one of them. And I don't know how she got away, but she somehow got away.
She's a scrappy one, that one.
She is. Yeah. She's super scrappy.
Speaking of scrappy, I always wondered, when they first showed the lighthouse and, you know, and Allie's lighthouse, or whoever's, Richards really, it really was.
Yeah.
It was like a lost hatch, it was pretty rad. There was tons of text scattered around the beach that, on that island, and I thought, that's perfect for a place for Emori, but I wondered if your people ever, you think, ever went over there?
I don't know. I don't know if
that was that in the show?
Yeah, but I don't know if that was occurring while she was under Bayless's thumb, or if that was happening. I would imagine this is some relationship that she established after the fact.
Right.
But I don't really know how. I mean, somehow she got connected to Allie. So she was scavenging tech for Allie. So she was aware of this island and connected to Allie somehow, but I don't think she'd been in the mansion.
No, I imagine not.
I would imagine not. She would have had a shower. She would have
right.
and picked some clothes.
Perhaps.
And yeah, and it would probably not be very nice in there. Like, we found it quite nice.
Right.
She would have been living in this house.
Was everyone jealous when, like, the only character who got to shower was Clark?
Oh yeah, but I think, I would imagine Emori's so acclimatized to her own body smell, business. She probably is just, I don't think you'd smell it. I don't think you'd have the awareness.
Yeah.
And she probably just always had the bandana because it was, her hair's like, it's probably just like not movable. Like,
right.
You know, right. Nothing's like, just throw a hat on that.
Now I want to see Emori smelling shampoo going,
like, what is this horrible smell?
It's this floral stuff.
Yeah, foul, disgusting.
So at Octavia's Crown, would like to know, what is your favorite book of all time? Because we know you're a voracious reader, and I think people know just through your Instagram and your Twitter, like, what is your favorite book? I'll name two. And I started putting books on there. I've still only put one, but I want to put more over time. The one that I put up on Instagram already, The Brain That Changes Itself, is an incredible book. It's all, I'm telling you, if no matter what's going on with you, if it's physiological or mental or anything, or you just want to kind of figure out what's going on in your mind, this book is so incredible to become aware of how your brain works. I just found it fascinating. It totally blew my mind when I wrote it.
And this one was by, oh my gosh, I can't think
you
of
can
it.
Google it. Remind us, the name of it is?
The Brain That Changes Itself.
Okay, yeah, great. We got Google it or Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge when it came out, like maybe a decade ago or something. And the other one that I would say is really, really good reading. It's a very heavy book though, so know that going in, if you decide you want to read it, is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He was I believe a psychologist-ish, philosopher-ish kind of guy who was put into the camps in World War II. And basically kind of wrote this book in his head on human suffering as he was enduring everything he did in the camps. It is mind-blowing, and it gives you a very interesting perspective on the human existence. Really light reading.
Rainbows and kittens.
Right.
Yeah. And also, I mean, not to be stalkery, but your Instagram, you obviously are an amazing chef, because everyone likes to hang out at your house to view the 100 and you have parties at your house.
Yeah, I like to mom people.
I totally relate to that. Yeah. My friends here would tell you, they call me Mom Joe because I'm old. But like, you know, I get it. Yeah.
You feed, you like, how you doing?
Take care of your peeps.
Yeah. I like
you don't have a culinary background or anything.
No, and I'm nowhere near as good of a chef as some of the other, like Zach is incredible apparently, but
he talks about steak a lot.
That makes sense. I would guess that. I can cook some things pretty well, and I have a lot of interest in it. I went through many years of not being good, and then I started, you start to figure stuff out, and you're like, oh, this is okay.
yeah, I didn't overcook it this time. I'm like, oh yeah, well, she tasted pretty good with that. I'm like, okay, we'll try that again next time. And there's, yeah.
It's a good hobby.
It's a good hobby because then you get to eat your hobby.
Exactly.
With Chloe, would like to know, without giving anything away because you can't, which emoji would best represent Emori in season 6?
Oh my gosh.
We expect you to make the face, no pressure.
This is a tough one. This is a really tough one. There's so many.
Yeah.
So many emojis.
They're all vague emojis.
Whichever the emoji that Jason will show you.
Isn't there an emoji of like kind of a straight mouth with big eyes?
Yes.
That's-
Yeah.
Like a reactionary like this.
Yeah, like just a nope. That's you. I think I'm gonna go with that one.
I feel like Emori's gonna feel scared or excited.
No comment.
Okay, great. It's whatever. It's the end of the YouTube ConAgeddon. I'm expecting answers. It's all good. You guys have been doing really well.
Well,
You're trained on that.
yeah, like ponies.
Totally. That's a choice. Yeah. So at Spidey Ariga, sorry, I'm terrible. I'm tired. I haven't had enough coffee. Would like to know if you could have any character from any book or TV show on the show, who would it be, and why?
Well, back on the book train, which I don't think we have talked about. I love Jane Austen. So if I could get Elizabeth Bennet in there to just be walking around and talking to us, and I don't know what she'd be doing, but it would be amazing.
But you know, there's so much time travel on this show. So can you imagine going backwards?
We'll just get Raven to build a time machine, and then bring Elizabeth Bennet, assuming she was a real person,
Right.
to us.
That's a really good answer. Gold star. All right. If you guys like to line up, there's a microphone back there, and this is your last chance for a while to ask sweet Luisa any questions you'd like about books, cooking, or the show. And while we're doing that, do you want to talk about some of your other projects and TV shows you've been appearing on, and things you can talk about outside of the 100?
I was in this cool show called Channel Zero. Yeah, thanks. It was on Sci-Fi. They did 4 seasons. It's an anthology, so each season was a different cast, different story. And that was super cool. Like, it was based off of creepypastas, stories on the internet. Each season, like a creepypasta, depending for those, most of us probably who don't know, I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's a scary story on the internet that kind of gets shared around and evolves as it goes, and it's just this scary short story that's birthed on the internet. And a lot of the times people don't even know where the original came from because they kind of take on the life of their own.
Yeah.
So the show is based on a different one each season. So that was really cool.
Did you appear in one season of it, or
One season of it, yeah. I
And
played
it's
a-
available now to see.
Yeah, it's been out for a bit, so I don't know where you find it, but it's out there.
Sci-Fi app, actually.
Okay, Sci-Fi app. Sci-Fi app, there it is. I played a sheriff's deputy, which I've done a lot. I played a lot of sheriff's deputies.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Now I went to Winona Earp, just FYI.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, great.
So then they need to come back for another.
They sure do.
They're
Save
working
Winona
on it,
Earp.
right?
Fight for Winona.
Yeah, fight for Winona, hashtag. Sorry, I gotta get, there's so many hashtags. Yeah. And what other projects do you have going on?
I mean, I can't talk. So, there's one that will be coming out, but I can't discuss.
Can you say if it's TV or film?
TV. Okay.
TV, something will be with Luisa.
I got a cool episode of a TV show.
An existing one?
No, a new one.
Ooh, okay. I like the shine on that. That's
Yeah.
nice and big. I like it. Okay, we're going to start with your usual cosplayer. Hi, Nicole.
Hi. Also, I didn't mean to cheer directly into the mic earlier. I actually wanted to ask a non-100 question, which was about your role in Far Cry, the video game. What was it like just doing like voice acting? Was that your first time doing a video game, and would you do more in the future?
Yeah, that was my first bit of work that turned into a bit in a video game, and it was really cool because it wasn't just the voice acting; it was the full motion capture. So you get into the suit with the little dots all over it, and you know, move around in this big empty space that has marks everywhere, and if you're moving through what's, say, like a corridor in the game, they've sort of built kind of walls, so they're like, okay, this is here and that's there, and there's a bunch of guys over here, and they're gonna be like jeering at you and be afraid of them, and then this is happening over here, and so it's all imaginary and really cool.
It was very bizarre. The hardest part about it was figuring out how big to make your facial expressions, though, because I don't really know how much they capture. Because when you're shooting on camera, if the camera's right here, you can keep it very, very subtle and they'll see everything. But with this, you keep it subtle and it looks like you're just standing there, you know, as you're so angry or so whatever and nothing's happening. So it was interesting, but it was really cool. It was really cool.
Nice.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Leah, and one thing that I found really interesting with the show that didn't really get touched on a lot in the last season is that Emori is potentially the last human survivor that has the defect caused by radiation in the bloodline.
True.
Right, so I thought it'd be really interesting to see how that plays in with the new people that we'll find on the planet in season 6. So, pretending that you don't know anything about season 6, how do you think, or what would you like to see progress from that, whether it be, you know, that they don't bring it up at all, that it's not a hindrance, or maybe these new people see her as like a deity because of it, and she's like a forced god or something? It's like, what would be your spin on it that you would like to see happen for Emori, since she is potentially, or as far as we know, the last one?
That's a really great, I mean, you kind of just like answered the question, like that was a great option. Yeah, I definitely thought about it. I thought that they would clock it, like at least if whatever's happening. But I don't know, I mean, how do I answer this without answering?
Emori is God.
I think I would love to see anything other than her experience so far. Anything other than that, because she's had enough of that. Like, she's done over that, she's done that. I would just love to see something other than that. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yes.
Thanks.
Nice answer. Good job.
Hi. My question for you is, what is going into makeup and costume like for your character? Like, what's the process like?
Well, now we got it down to a science. In the beginning, though, it was 3 hours the very first time I got in the makeup chair, makeup and hair, because it was new. But first thing is the tattoo, which takes about 20 minutes or so, and then whatever, and the scar, and then whatever various, usually it's a combination of dirt blood so far that we've seen on the show, in various levels of degree, and then into hair, and muss that up a bit, because if it looks too good, like put some hairspray in there and then back comb it and mess it up a bit. She hasn't showered in like 2 months, so. What's that? Yeah, maybe she had a shower like every 2 months, maybe. My guess? I think she just sheds. She's like a snake. Yeah, anyway, it was like an hour and a bit.
What do they do for the gloved hand?
It's really cool. I believe it's silicone, and they've molded my hand, and then they carved this out of silicone, and it's just a flexible glove that I can put on and take off, and it's very easy. It takes like 2 minutes, not a problem. I eat with it. I just wear it usually up until lunch all day. The best time was when we had tacos, and I was like, I can hold the biggest taco. It's so easy, hot lunch, right? Yeah. And also when I have hot coffee, I'm like, you guys are suckers. Bonus, no problem. Yeah,
That's really cool. Thanks.
I have to say, one of the things I've always admired about the show is, from Raven and the new event Emori, is other abled people, it's a non-issue in the future, just like sexuality, because there's so many other bigger issues at hand that no one makes an issue of your hand, you know?
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that on the new planet, it's the same thing. We have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, it's a different society.
Yeah.
Like, and same thing I love with the orientation on the show. They never address it.
Right.
They never discuss it because it's a non-thing. Why would we bring it up?
One of the things that's resonated for years is Raven say we all have battle scars, and I think that like for many of us, both physically and emotionally, that has resonated on a level that nothing else has for the show. And I think that, I'm sure, can you talk about the impact? Well, sorry to interrupt. The impact that you have, fans have told you their story that Emori has had.
Yeah, I know. I feel very humbled by that, to represent that for people, because when you book a role, you're just trying to get work, and
when you get a role that is more than just a job, it's something really special. Like it's a real gift. So, and I don't feel like I am the person who can take credit for that. I didn't create her, and I haven't lived through what the people who connect to Emori have lived through. This is their story. So they're the ones who should be, on the mic.
Yes, but you have brought a humanity and a kindness to Emori that I think does come across on screen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, hey, Clark.
Hey, I'm Allison. So my question, well, really quick, I just wanted to say thank you for coming, and thank you just for your character, just playing someone who is labeled as like an outcast because of her disability. Just thank you for giving her just like a human side and the side of acceptance and her desire to be loved. Being disabled myself, I think it's really important to see those positive representations of disabled love on TV. We don't get that a whole lot, so that means a lot just to me, just to see that that is possible for me. And my question is, so I know you guys are really into like hot snacks, that's what Bob and Eliza talked about in the last panel. What is like your favorite hot snack that you've ever had on set?
Pierogies.
So what, I don't know what that is, so what is that?
A pierogi?
Yeah, like what's a pierogi?
A pierogi is, it's either Hungarian or Polish. Polish. It's just carbs on carbs and carbs with lots of carbs. It's like potatoes and cheese and dough, and you dip it in sour cream with some sauteed onions.
Yeah. So it's kind of like an upgraded Hot Pocket.
It probably started the Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, between that and a calzone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they've been around forever. Pierogies.
Okay.
This is like the old country food, man. Yeah.
Frozen aisle. Oh, okay.
It's because when it's late, all you want is carbs, because hot snack comes out late. You're tired, it's hour 13, 14, everyone's getting a little loopy. You don't want to have coffee because you're like, I'll be up all night. Pierogies.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Hey Clark, how you doing?
Hi there. So I'm also disabled, and I want to thank you for giving Emori the poise and elegance that we never get to see in disabled characters. It resonates, and when she had her line in the City of Light by "There's nothing wrong with me," it was so powerful and so wonderful. As an actor, what is it like characterizing her? Because that has to be such an emotional journey.
It is. I guess I think of it, I try not to anchor her in just the suffering specific to that, because I think that this is a suffering that, of being isolated from, that everyone has felt. Everyone has felt isolated for one thing or another. Even if it's in your own head, where you walk into a room and for whatever reason you feel so anxious and uncomfortable that you feel you cannot connect to people. I've had experiences where I've been in situations where there was a family dynamic happening in front of me that I was completely unprepared for and unfamiliar with, and I had to leave the room because I was so uncomfortable and just started crying. I'm like, I don't know what is happening right now, but I feel so isolated and alone. So, and that was just one tiny experience for me. And everyone, we've all had this kind of, we felt this experience to some degree, and some people, obviously for maybe a longer period of time than others, or maybe in a more intense way. And I think that, I just try to make it honest. I just try to make it as honest as I can with the experience that I've lived. And I just try to do my best and do a good job.
It's amazing and authentic, and thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hi.
You're melting my heart, my dear.
You guys are melting my heart. I'm trying to not cry.
Oh, my goodness. Anyways, now that I've almost cried once, that's fun. I have a question for Emori in her I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about that last. That's so nice. Like, that's wonderful. You guys are wonderful. Anyways, my question for Emori is, how do you think her dynamic with the Sky Crew is going to change throughout this 6? Without giving anything away, of course, but like, what do you think is going to change? If you can't say anything, I don't know.
I don't know if I can say anything about how I think things will. Yeah, I think that will probably.
Can I rephrase?
Yeah.
Okay. So since Emori started in the 100, sorry, I had a whole plan in my head and now it's like gone. But since she started, how do you think that progression of her relationship with the Sky Crew has changed? I mean,
has changed
throughout the seasons.
Oh man, like
does she trust them all?
Yeah, I mean now, for sure by the end of 5, oh yeah, like she trusts them all completely. I always thought it was so great as I was starting to interact more with them over the seasons, and 3 and 4 in particular, because as I would meet them, I had to be like, have I met this person yet? Like every single one, and I thought all of Emori's opinions of all these people would be based on John Murphy's opinions and experience of them. So I had to think about what is the crap that he would have told me about all these people, because she is super behind him, right? So she's like, oh yeah, this guy, oh man, I can't, he's such an idiot, I hate him, totally right about that, or whatever, I remember where there was this great moment in when we were shooting the end of season 4, right before we went up in the rocket. We come back into the lab. We went back to get Raven. We're all kind of there deciding what to do, and we're having a big speech about where we're going up into space. And John Murphy has some snarky line, as he usually does, and then Bellamy turns to him and said, "Shut up, Murphy."
Yeah.
I did not plan this at all, but I was just, in it. I think it was, I don't know, I think they had a camera on me, and in that moment, I looked over at him with like a death stare in my eye. Because this is one of the first times I had seen this happen. And like, what did you say to him? Like, are we gonna throw down right now?
Oh, I'd pay to see that show.
It just kind of came out. I was like, whoa, that was really interesting. It obviously didn't make it in. There's way too much going on right there. This is not the what does Emori think of Bellamy show.
We all care now, though.
And I could see one of the producers off to the side just start laughing who was watching the monitor. But it was just a fun moment for me. Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you. Love and hugs.
So, if Emori ever had to die, how would you want her to die?
Happy. Man, like, Harper and Monty had such a beautiful goodbye. I think she had that. Either that or in a blaze of glory.
Yes.
Like, I'm probably in a blaze of glory, maybe. I don't think she would. I think she'd fight to the bitter end.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not that you can answer this, but do you think that Emori would lay down her life for John Murphy?
Do I think?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Oh, I think she would.
Yeah.
Like,
so obviously we've seen him fight for you.
yeah, they do the same for each other. Like, that's well established. I mean, when she was tied up at the rocket, she was like, go, save yourself. Like, get out of here, do whatever you gotta do. Lie, cheat, steal, save yourself. And he's like, no.
Reenactment.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, that was the original writing, and then I was like, hey, listen guys, let's rewrite it. I got something to do. Save yourself.
Thank you.
You're fun.
What was the name of the 2 books again?
The Brain That Changes Itself, and Man's Search for Meaning.
Man's Search for Meaning?
Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And it doesn't mean about men, it's like mankind, people, whatever.
Okay, thanks.
Our search for meaning.
No pressure, but next week maybe you should put on your Instagram to remind, like, put those books on.
Yeah, well the one's on there, and the other one I've just been procrastinating.
Yeah.
I don't story.
We want the Luisa book club here.
Yes.
Okay, all right, yeah. We are smart readers, and we are sponges, and also we've had no trailer, so we need a book. They still
so now's the time, is what you're saying.
The show comes back April 30th, so we can totally read at least 2 of those books.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Someone asked Bob this question the other day, but I thought it is an interesting question in general. If season 6 Emori or like end of season 5 Emori, whichever one you want to answer for, could speak to or give some kind of advice to season 2 Emori when she was first introduced, what would she say?
Oh, that's a really good, yeah. Okay, end of season 5, Emori.
Yeah, or season 6, but.
I'll do end of season 5. Advice that she would give to her, to herself in season 2 would be, there are people worth trusting even though you don't know it yet when you meet them. So give people a chance.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good advice for modern times too.
Yeah. You never really know. You just don't know. You don't know either way. Yes. Thank you.
Hi, I have, my question is, if you could do anything to your own outfit on the show to add on or weapon, what would you put on that outfit?
To my own outfit.
Yeah,
on
like
the
to add
show.
to your character's outfit, like if you wanted to add spikes or flamethrower, I don't know, just in general.
Flamethrower hand.
I mean, a jetpack would be pretty cool. Yeah, right? Totally. Either that or I'd love her to just have like a MacGyver bag somewhere. You know, that'd be pretty sweet if she could. Yeah, duct tape would also be useful. I feel like duct tape fixes everything.
Did you watch Lost? Because that's the line on Lost. That they literally fix an entire airplane with duct tape, but we'll just put that out there. That's just not a thing you can do. Yeah.
I did, and it must be registered in the back of my mind. And
I can tell you the episode this season and the whole thing, but we won't go there.
Okay.
That's a different con. That's a different con.
Yeah.
Duct tape.
Yeah. Duct tape in a MacGyver bag. Nice.
Thank you.
Or with a jetpack.
So it's not really the 100 relatable question, but you were in Far Cry 5, which is a really good game, my favorite game. Did you enjoy doing that, and would you do voiceover for video games again?
Oh, totally. I had a great time doing it, and I would definitely do it again. It's funny, like the auditions for video games come in frequently, and they're always secret names, so you never really know what they are, and you have no idea what the character's going to be doing, and it's such an odd process auditioning for motion capture anyway. But I would totally love to, especially nowadays, like The Last of Us and some of the games out there. Like, this is basically a 40-hour feature film. This is incredible. So there's some awesome stuff out there. So I think, although if I'm going to get in a game like that, I better get a little bigger. I got to get a bit more famous.
We have such a lovely voice. I'd love to do books. If you read books on tape, I would totally listen to it in my car.
Yeah. You guys are just like
pumping you up.
Yeah, like for all these career moves.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no one's behind me, so if you don't mind, I'm going to ask 2 questions.
Sure.
Do it.
Any character, any season, what's your favorite storyline on the 100 and why?
I loved Richard's season 1. Because John, I remember watching it and being like, what a dick. But he's also so great. Like, this is really interesting. And then little did I know what that was going to turn into for me.
How was your reaction when they said, well, by the way, you're going to have a romantic thing with Murphy? How cool was that for you?
Well, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great idea. I thought it would have worked really well for him. And I was so grateful. So grateful, because you don't know what you're, like, so many actors come into a show like this for one episode, like me. One episode, you know what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen. They're just trying stuff out. And if you get lucky, it turns into something more. And I got lucky in the sense that I think they were looking to give John Murphy a shift. And I happened to be there at that time, and they happened to have ideas. So, yeah. And then, there's been a lot of great storylines. Who else? I just want to know more about Indra.
Yes. We haven't talked enough about Indra this whole weekend.
Every time she comes on camera, I'm just like,
Lena. And she's so lovely. She's just a wonderful human being.
Her presence as Indra is amazing.
Yeah, she just stands there and looks, and I'm like, she won the scene. Like she's.
You think Emori and Indra would be buddies?
I think Emori would be in awe of Indra.
Yeah.
I think she would, because I would guess that Indra's politics when it comes to her hand would be not as hardcore as some of the other grounders in the society. So I think there might be some empathy from her potentially, and I think that if Emori got that, she would really, really, really want to hopefully have something there. And this is someone she could look up to. She hasn't had a female mentor that we know of. I mean, most of her relationships on the show and interactions have been with, up until the space crew stuff, was with men. There was her brother, there was the Bayless that we don't know much about, there was Jaha, and there was John Murphy.
I'm just saying season 6, Indra and Emori are both alive, so maybe they're BFF. That'd be me. I hope you guys have a scene together. You can't say it now. I'm hoping for that. Yeah. I'm sorry, but there's now people behind you, but I appreciate the question.
So you and Richard had talked a little bit about songs that you would use to get into like the Emori and Murphy characters. But I want to know, what is your quintessential Emori song?
I don't know if I have a quintessential Emori song, but I love, I have one song that I listen to, not for the words, but really just for the tune of it, which is the Pixies. I can't even remember the name right now. I'm horrible with, it's the...
Here Comes Your Man?
Where is my mind?
No, but there's another big one. That's like Jane. Does anyone remember that?
Siri, what is the Pixies' biggest hit?
Yeah, it's on Shazam. It's a Pixie song, and it has this dark beat to it that's kind of uplifting and a bit dangerous. And I'm like, this is so her, where it's like, is it good, is it bad, I don't know, but yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, so as one of your younger fans, you really inspire me. So my question was, what is one piece of advice you would give like your younger self, like teenage years?
I could maybe some pieces of advice I give my younger self would be to not be so afraid of taking chances, of what people think, of saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, to not pivot so much around everything around me. Like, you're good, you're figuring it out, just keep paying attention, keep your mind open, kind of figure out what you decide, but know that that's going to change too. Like, your opinions are always going to change, and if you're stopping them from changing, you're not progressing. It's okay for your opinions to shift a bit as we get older and we learn more. And I feel like there's so many people who are, say, grandparents, like their age. When you almost ask them for advice, it's like they almost don't even want to say anything because they're like, there's nothing I can say that will really change what you think, and you kind of have to go through it anyway. So just, I get that all in a look when they kind of look at me. So I sort of feel like, life is life, and you can say so much, but so much happens through experience. Just believe in yourself and learn and keep an open mind and be kind and be confident. Like, know that you're good. You're good.
Monkey Gone to Heaven? Is that a song?
No. Maybe it's just called Hey. It might just be Hey. Yeah. That hey.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Hey.
I literally think it's called Hey.
Oh, yeah. Now the Pixies. Yeah. A little anticlimactic.
Yeah, but it's easy to remember. Yeah.
Bye. Yeah, again, as long as nobody else.
Oh, last two questions were good.
No. Okay. So, Murphy and Emori, toward the end of season 5, kind of reconciled, it was unclear how much reconciliation actually happened there because, you know, there was kind of life or death situation again. So I'm wondering if you felt like, was there something that changed in those after she had the sort of conversation with him about like, this is the John Murphy I fell in love with, but was still very hesitant to kind of get back together with him. Do you think that her feelings changed at some point in those last, or is there still unresolved stuff?
I don't think her feelings have changed. I think her feelings have always been so intense for him. I don't think it's been the feelings. I think it's been the struggle and the pain, and she's, when she was telling him, this is who I fell in love with, but then I just can't do this anymore. It was more of a, I'm gonna be logical about this. I can't do this. I should work with my head here. I think that's what that was. But then when she saw him injured and basically, you know, potentially dying if they couldn't get him to the ship, nothing else mattered anymore because it put things in perspective, and she was just all emotion, and her feelings completely took over. That's right.
Thank you.
Hi. Just wanted to know, which other character dynamic would you like to see explored more with Emori? I know you had mentioned Indra before, so maybe another character that you haven't interacted with yet, or only interacted a little bit?
I would really like to see more with Echo, because we've had little moments, but I just feel like they were the two grounders in space. They came from opposite ends of the Grounder Society, from different clans, and and now they're like family, and I think that their friendship would be so interesting to me, and I would love to just see more of what that is.
I agree, I would love that.
Yeah.
Season 6.
Yeah.
Here's hoping.
All right, so you said earlier that you like to cook. I think Joe said you host 100 viewing parties. I do the same thing with my friends all the time. They're a bunch of freeloaders, but I'm always cooking for them, so...
We've probably been cooking at the same time, right before
we probably have. So no, I've started to think about what I'm going to make for my season 6 premiere party. I'm wondering if you have any suggestions, you know, because it's something you've cooked recently, or maybe there's just a good idea based on what you know about the season, or just a favorite food.
I have no ideas based on the season.
The 100 as pasta, bro.
But I mean, pizza is always a good one because it's easy and you don't need cutlery and you can put anything on it, and you can make your own dough. It's not hard. It can be intimidating, like if you don't know.
Or you can buy at Trader Joe's pre-made.
Yeah, you can do that. You can totally do that.
Sorry, that's a US thing, I think.
Yeah. But you can, whatever, you can buy it. Yeah, or you could get super ambitious and make some pasta and impress everybody.
All right, cool. Also, I have that Pixies song on my iPod if you want to play it.
Oh, you know, it's Hey, right?
Yes, it's Hey.
Okay, you can just stick it in the microphone.
Okay. Do it.
It's Frankie.
Yeah, this song is, I'm telling you, it's like, it's dark, but yes, this one. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Although you can't do it justice right now because it's like it's just not hitting the speakers enough. Yes, that's it. It's just not dangerous, but like, come here, come on, this is interesting. Yeah. So I've listened to this many times right before I've been about to do something a bit dangerous on the show.
I like it. It's got some nice hard lines.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so yesterday in his meet and greet, Richard talked a little bit about the breakup between Murphy and Emori and how he kind of liked that happening because it gave Emori a chance to kind of grow as her own person and have an arc separate from just being Murphy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
But my question is kind of, what was your initial reaction when you found out what the status of their relationship was going to be, and kind of how did you, like, as Luisa, feel about that?
Yeah, I was surprised, just because I didn't know. So no matter what was written, I was going to be surprised. But my first reaction was, uh-oh, we got to fill in a lot of blanks. And I have questions. I have many questions. I was sad for them. But I also thought it made sense because they were very intense, volatile, connected couple that couldn't communicate very well. I don't think they're the like sit down and like, listen, when you do this, I feel hurt. I don't think they're that kind of a couple that's able to do that. I don't even think they understand what the concept of that is. So I was like, yeah, it makes sense. They have problems. And then I was just excited to see where we went from there, because sometimes it's the aftermath that's most interesting, or it's equally as interesting and equally as real of a story to tell as a relationship that's struggling.
Yeah.
Once you decide to call it quits, and like everyone's been through messy stuff, it's hard. Like it hurts, and you still care, you still love them. I mean, you don't love them anymore just because you're not together a lot of the time. You know, the anger is, and it's just complicated. It was nice to show the complicatedness because it was real. It was real. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, last question. Let's bring it home.
Yeah, nice mustache. Yes, sunshine.
Okay, so I know how you talk about how you love books and stuff. What book would you like to be able to transport into the story?
Oh, transport into...
Like you can go inside, like...
If I could go inside?
Yeah,
If the new planet had a library, and there were old texts there, like what book would you want to bring into the 100?
Oh, to bring into the 100.
No, like go into the story.
If Luisa, me, could go live in a book?
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Okay. This is all your fault.
I know. Most things are.
The internet knows most things are.
So definitely something Jane Austen. I just want to go back and be in a Jane Austen novel.
You should be in the Jane Austen.
Ooh. I would love to, but I don't look like I'm from Victorian England.
It's 2019, F that. Yeah, I totally would fit in.
Yeah.
Can you do a British accent?
Not really.
That wasn't bad, right? But I feel like I'm going to Irish Club at St. Patrick's Day.
Probably. I can't do an Irish.
It's definitely the end of the day.
I'm going to butcher. I can. Okay, I have a story of Irish accent.
Let's do it.
I was vacationing, and there was a guy from Ireland, and he was very drunk. And I had been practicing my Irish accent because there were a lot of people from Ireland there. So I was like, I'm going to convince this guy I am from Ireland. How'd that go? He was fully believed it. Fully believed it. He did make a comment about but it sounds a little bit like you're from, not Dublin, like you're from whatever, some other place.
A suburb of Dublin.
I think I said, yeah, I'll go between the two, or whatever I said. I don't know. But I was like, I can't believe I convinced this guy. I'm obviously an incredible actress. If he was even remotely sober, I would have failed miserably.
But that's a good fun project right there.
It was fun. I just decided that one. That was my audition that I gave myself, and I booked it.
You did. Excellent job.
Thank you.
Well, on that, happy St. Patrick's Day. Let's thank Luisa for being here. Lunch, and then actually at 5 o'clock it is the Eliza Taylor solo panel. We have a huge surprise.